Hello and welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here. I've got this lovely pepper plant over here that is thriving, and one reason because it is thriving is because it was exposed to long hours of sunlight. Here this year's summer in Finland has led to long hours of sunlight, which is great for this pepper plant. So we're going to talk about how to take care of it, how to plant it, and also how to help the pepper plant in order to produce more as well. So if you want to plant it from scratch, you can plant it about 24 inches apart, and make sure you do so in a sunny, well-drained spot. These beautiful plants need at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each and every single day. Make sure to mix organic compost into the soil when planting. This will help kickstart the seeds and provide the right environment for them to thrive. And I want you to water immediately after planting, and then make sure to keep the soil as moist as possible. So make sure to consistently moist the soil, and if you are planting in a pot, then you might require more frequent watering than compared to planting on the ground. So if you're planting in pots, if you're planting indoors, make sure to water frequently as well. Make sure to plan your watering schedule. I've talked about that in the previous video on how I plan out using my liquid fertilizer and watering schedule to make sure everything stays consistent. So I want you to focus on watering daily, especially in mid-summer. And before you water, just take the extra step of checking the soil, because this way you'll know if the plant needs more water, if the top inch of the soil is dry. So basically, when it comes to whether they like the sun or the shade, they actually grow in all types of soils, but this one did best in heavier, well-drained soil. So I want you to focus on putting them in areas that receive at least 6 hours of sunlight each day. If you're trying to grow them indoors, so make sure to put them in the most warmest part of the house, where, for example, next to the window, where they're exposed to a lot of sunlight each day. So if you are planting them in pots, just make sure to pick the right varieties that are especially important and that can thrive in pots as well, because peppers can grow better in pots than in a garden, especially in cool or windy climates such as here in Finland. It's starting to get a little bit cold. We are entering autumn right now, so I'm just making sure to pop in the pepper plants indoors and see how they go, and I'll report back to you guys later on. So in terms of how do we know if we've overwatered the pepper plants, well, they'll show some signs such as they'll stop growing, they will have wilted leaves, they will have curled leaves as well. And make sure to, if this happens, just chop off the leaves that are wilted or that are yellow to make sure that it doesn't spread to other leaves as well. And just stop watering the plants, give it a couple of days, check in on the soil, and then water the plants regularly and stick to your schedule as well. How many peppers do we usually get per plant on average? Each pepper plant gives about 5 to 10 peppers. However, there are some varieties that offer less and offer more as well. So depending on what variety you are using. Let's talk about some natural fertilizers that you can use for your pepper plant. Well, we have some coffee grounds, which are amazing for pepper plants, helping them grow, helping them provide an excellent source of nitrogen as well. We also have some eggshells. They can act as a fertilizer for peppers, also for eggplants if you have, and tomatoes, because the calcium in the eggshells helps the pepper plants to thrive, and also the plant absorbs that calcium and it grows more better, and it's more healthier as well. So just sprinkle some eggshells into each hole before planting, and this will really help to kickstart the soil. Alternatively, you could also use some Epsom salts if you do have some. They are really beneficial for vegetable gardens as well, and also tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. These kind of vegetables really do well with Epsom salt. What happens if you have a pepper plant that doesn't flower? Well, the flowers usually appear once all the right conditions are here for the pepper plant to thrive. So they need sun exposure, they need a warm temperature, and they need enough nutrients to thrive. If all these three elements are provided for the pepper plant and it still doesn't flower, what does that mean? It just means that you can trigger flowering is simply by taking the step to reduce nitrogen levels and introduce more phosphate. So a fertilizer that is rich in phosphate might do the trick as well. And the last question is, how do I get the peppers to give more fruit, to give more produce as well? So in order to help the pepper plant to give more fruit, just simply take the simple rule that peppers, in order to thrive and in order to produce more fruit and be in a good condition, they need more phosphorus and potassium in order to set fruit. They don't need a lot of food. So basically 1 teaspoon of the fertilizer that is rich in phosphorus and potassium will do the trick in order to help. And you can use it just around the bloom time as well. And they also need more phosphorus and potassium to fruit as well, so bear that in mind. And you can do some stuff in order to promote growth, such as pruning. We've reached the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you found this video helpful, then like, share and subscribe. I'd love to have you on board. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.